What's up, everybody? Marcus and Santos back again with Amateur Hour Podcast, week 24, episode 24, week like 75 because we took some breaks.
But we're still on the year of Marcus, so
We're still
that's
in the
all that
season of
matters.
Marcus, so that's what's important. We can start with a little week that was, if you want. Santos likes to do that. Locally, week that was, I threw a lot of discs. I went and did a lot of field work. Went into a lot of leagues. Played poorly at
Wow.
every league. Played okay at leagues, but didn't cash at anything. So that stinks.
Unfortunately, I was looking forward to the Wednesday league picking up here. It just kicked
Yeah,
off, but I was on vacation
yeah,
with the fam, so missed it. Because I haven't done much at all. So I'm not even anxious to get started with the season. Honestly, I've got to get into it slower. But
yeah.
the Wednesday league was close. I think it was a ECP actually, and then
Yes,
next week is at Hawks. I'm not going to make that trip on a Wednesday, so
that's far. Yeah.
it's
Good for
difficult to
you.
do. So not much going on here for myself, but uh, big news in the world of disc golf. FPO states
Texas State's
fifth winner, Texas State's fifth winner in five tournaments. Yeah,
fifth different
that's where
winner.
we're going,
Yeah,
right?
in FPO. Yeah,
First 5 weeks, five different winners, first time ever.
yeah.
Uh, and I really thought once Kristen arrived, it would just be back
Me
to
too.
normal. Uh,
Me
I
too.
mean, I guess even she has a slow start to seasons. It happens,
Yeah,
but it
it
was
does.
entertaining and it was awesome to see.
I mean, a slow start to the season for her is she won one event already and came in second and was
Yeah,
close, like chased down a leader by a lot. So that's a slow start for her. I mean, she's
yeah,
getting the Macbeth effect. Like the last Worlds win for Paul, it was like a down year for Paul, and he won Worlds.
yeah, yeah. And
So
everybody was on him because they just expected him.
yeah,
Yeah,
you just
I
expect it
remember
of him
all the
after so
talk
long.
around him, all the talk around everything going wrong, everybody catching up. Yep,
Yep,
I remember. And
yep,
it was just fuel to the fire for a man who has done so
yeah.
much for disc golf and continues to. You know what I mean? He's not just a competitor that keeps winning; he's literally spreading
He
disc golf
lives and
worldwide.
breathes disc golf. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
it's amazing to see.
So I don't think
Uh,
I think Kristen's still the odds-on favorite to win Worlds this year. I think Anthony
where's Worlds
Barella.
for the
Worlds is in
slackers that haven't looked it up?
Virginia this year.
It's
It's
at
at
his
one
course.
one of yeah. Some of it's at Paul's course, and some of it's at this other
Mm-hmm.
like golf course they designed up there, which Foundation has played at a
And
few times, so you can see it on coverage.
you've played Paul. Have you
No,
played Paul's course?
no, Jeff
You
did.
did not. It was Jeff. Okay, and then obviously the kid and probably Buckley did it.
They might have got there.
But
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, nice, nice. Men's side, MPO, Barella, right?
Barella still shredding. Might be the favorite to win Worlds this year.
Favorite to win worlds. Well, I mean, okay, so I remember. I hate to say it, but maybe it helped him the pressure of the island hole with the 17 forehands that he just couldn't
Yeah.
stick. Right. I
Yes.
I have nothing against this kid. He has all the talent in the world, and I've never cheered against him. Um, so there was no reason for how bad I felt for him when he had that tin cup moment,
Yeah.
and it was just my heart poured out for that poor kid. Right, like that was so difficult to watch.
Well, it's not like he
Um,
missed by a lot ever.
that's what I mean. He
He
was
missed
he
by
was
like a
bouncing in, then
foot.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He missed by like a
wide,
foot
short.
5 times in a
Yeah,
row. That sucks. Like you're not doing anything
and you
wrong. You're just
get
getting unlucky.
and you're having to do it with discs that you wouldn't normally use on your forehand. Right after the
Yeah.
first two, you're thinking,
Yeah.
all right, what else can I make fit? And he was still adjusting and hitting the target most times,
Yep.
just bouncing out or off by a little bit. It was painful. But now this year, was it somebody in our group chat, not just one, maybe two, but somebody in our team chat there always said, they were such a fan of Rella and just waiting for him to put it together that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And then it was
Yeah.
like, well, maybe it's never going to happen. And now he got passed. But here he is, shining, and he's doing. I would say, it's the passing of the torch from the old heads,
Yeah.
and by old they're not very old. Paul, Ricky, and them to these younger new heads, and
Yeah.
I can't wait for Eagle to come back actually to see.
That's gonna be really cool.
Because I still consider he's been playing a long time, but I still
Yeah.
consider him young enough to be part of this group that does
Yeah,
that.
he's younger than me, so yeah.
Right. He was on the scene at what, 17, 18?
Yeah, 16 I think was his first like pro tour event was
Yeah.
he was 16.
Jesus. Insane.
So it's
Insane
gonna be
amount of
really
talent.
cool. But like Gannon's still really good. Gannon is still like he chased down AB to make it close
Right.
at Texas State's. So
Yep.
you know, Gannon could win worlds this year easily. I think
Robinson could
Ezra could just
he can go back to back.
he could just pop off
Isaac.
again because he kind of had a quiet season and then all of a sudden won Champions Cup and then all of a sudden won Worlds. So
Yeah.
certainly possible.
You said Ezra, is it? Which one won Worlds?
Oh, Isaac.
Yeah, okay.
I said
I said
Ezra.
Isaac. I think. Yeah,
Ezra
but when you say it,
Ezra
you
Aderhold
make me
was in.
question myself.
Ezra
Yeah,
Aderhold came in third or something at Texas State's, right? He had a really good showing.
he had a good showing.
He
Yep.
looked really good, which is cool.
Discraft, strong,
Discraft's strong. Yeah.
strong team. All right, so the week that was okay, and now what do you got for? How do you want to transition into what
I mean,
today's topic or topics
we can
are?
go right into FPO because you know, like you said, 5 different winners. But what I want to talk about with FPO is how much I've been watching it. I never watched FPO before. I never cared. It was not interesting to me.
Who told you to watch FPO all the time because they used to watch it all the time?
You. But
This
see,
guy.
it's more interesting now than it used to be because the courses they're playing
That
are
is correct.
way better.
That
The
is
courses
correct.
they're playing are better. The competition's better. It's not
Yeah.
like them just playing the MPOTs and playing 30 over wins. Like that's just so not fun to watch for anybody.
Right. Right.
It's not fun to
And
play,
I
I'm sure.
really want to get soon, hopefully, Gambini back in the picture because he kind of ruined women's disc golf for me after his comments the last
Yeah.
time. I don't know if he made them on the show, but he just made an offhand goofy comment because of the struggles of some of the top end putters or
Yeah.
players. They're
That was
putting.
on here for sure.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh my god, that's almost, you know what? Maybe that ties into like that Bader Meinhof phenomenon where somebody mentions
Yeah.
something, you focus and you see it all the time now,
Yep.
and you're just thinking like, oh my god, again, oh my god, again, oh my god, and you're like, he just ruined it for me, and I feel bad when they miss him, but now it's like anything inside the circle for MPO side is like, wow, you don't
It's
ever see that.
automatic. Yeah.
For the women, it's like outside of 50, outside of 20, it's questionable for some of them. See in your
Almost
eyes, there you
questionable even
go.
closer than that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So for me on that, but I didn't give up watching because the way they attack courses is the way I would. I don't have the 400, 500, 600 distance. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you're finally coming around. And what do you? Hopefully we can get him back on here and see if he saw a difference. But
Yeah.
what are you seeing now?
Oh, the skill level is so much higher. There's so many more players that are in contention all the time. It's not just Paige and Kat who like Kat's. I personally don't like Kat, but that's a different topic and that's a different day. So I never wanted to watch Kat because she's not interesting for me to watch. Paige is fun to watch. But like Kristen's fun to watch. Anniken Steen won. She's left-handed. That was really cool. I'm left-handed, so that was like fun to watch. Like that's why I root for Clemens a lot. It's fun to see him do well. To throw like
Yes.
he throws huge lefty forehands, which is like I think I have a pretty big
Which
forehand for a lefty, and he's got another 100 feet on me.
has it? Is it? I believe he's the one that said if he needs max distance, his forehand would actually go a little bit further than his
It's
backhand.
possible, yeah.
I think, or maybe that's just some of the commentators.
I think his forehand form is better than his backhand form, so it's possible.
I don't know about the form thing, and I don't know about the left-handed thing. So I'm going to take your word for it. How many lefties do we have? PO, I'm sorry, that you know of.
MPO
3?
any more? I can name Clemens. I can name Nathan Queen, and that's about it.
There's one more. It's a
Ben
Bob
Wolf.
question, but I thought there was one more.
Ben Wolf is left-handed. He's kind of localer
Okay.
to me. Like I mean, like I said, he played my tournament, but he played at Waco. He plays high at Waco. He's left-handed.
Yeah.
I know
Okay.
that.
All right. And then so we watched the women's and we watched states, and it was definitely fun to watch, and it was competitive.
Yeah.
What do you think about for them.
Say that again.
What do you think about the commentating for them?
You know, who does the commentary usually? Is it?
It changes a lot.
I know it changes,
Well,
but it's
it did
usually
last year.
what's the guy? It's usually that one guy always every time. And
Terry?
no, is it Terry? I'm thinking of
Terry
someone else,
Terry does
but
a lot of. Oh
I
no,
like
Terry's
Terry
on the
Miller.
course with them. Terry Miller's on the
Terry's on
course
the
with them
course.
all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't
Um,
think of the other guy's name that does the commentary, but I think he's good. I think who's the woman? Elaine King? Is it Elaine? Am I
it
thinking?
switches between Elaine and what you call it. Actually, she didn't do so much. I
Does
think
Val
she was
Doss do
actually was she?
anymore?
Yeah, she did it last year with King, and they brought in. Remember, what's her name? Christy something. She was doing it for a little bit.
Yeah,
They rotate it like
they do. Yeah,
a
they do
lot. They
rotate
don't
it pretty
have
good.
just like a set pair.
I think it's
I
pretty
guess it
good.
matters who's touring with them, right?
Yeah. Well, so I think it's pretty good. I think the commentary's gotten leagues better than it was the first year of DGN. I think it was impossible to get worse than it was. So, I think it's a lot better. I think it's a lot more entertaining. It's a lot more watchable. You can sit there and really, listen to it. There's insightful commentary. Getting players in that have played the game for a long time, that know the course, know the game, know what they're talking about. Someone like I love Ian Anderson. I
I do.
I started the game when Central Coast was the biggest media company, basically, before Jomez existed, before Gatekeeper, before GK Pro. It was just Central
Wow.
Coast and then like random stuff. Like Central Coast did the Champs vs Chumps. They did the Battle of the Eras. Like those were massive for disc golf videos at the time. So I have a what?
Champs vs. Chumps. They died.
They still do it.
I just
They
realized
just don't do it
I
that
haven't
often.
really seen. Yeah,
It kind of
I
lost the
haven't.
magic. The original
Okay.
three were the best by far. The first one was awesome. It was Ian Anderson and two other guys, and then they picked up the Supreme Flight guy, playing Paul at Paul's home course. Just a random day, and Paul shot almost the course record, or he tied the course record, and beat them by like 10. It was hysterical.
Wow.
They were playing best shot trios and then best shot quads, and Paul beat them by like a lot. Out at like Morley or something. I can't remember what course it was. Out in Santa Cruz area. And then
So when I came in, it was Sexton commentating,
yep.
and it was just the most amazing, hilarious comments he was making about. And I specifically remember, like, was it a lady who teed off and hit her boyfriend
Hit her boyfriend, yeah. That was the fourth one.
standing next to the tee pad?
That was
Yeah.
the third or fourth one,
So
yeah. That was
I
funny.
mean, just hilarious. Like, God, it was just fun, and I really wish that they would have something like that more regular. Because even if it's just Nate Sexton commentating,
Yeah.
I can just do that. That's it. He'll make anything that happens. He's gonna make it. If you bring back Big Sexy, have them together
Yeah.
doing it. They feed off each other just as
They
well.
feed off
I
good.
think it would be huge. I would pay for that, even if it was a paid special on the side or something like that. I'd pay to
Yeah.
see that because it's just, to me,
Well,
that was
so
entertainment.
you say that, that's where they were. They were on Central Coast Patreon. So you did pay to see them ahead of time. And then they released them eventually for free on YouTube. But they did them
Okay.
on Patreon behind their paywall first.
Yeah,
So
which
they
is
might still
I
be
would.
there. I mean, they should still be there. They should still be
Yeah, yeah.
behind Central Coast paywall.
I just haven't looked for it. It's not on YouTube. Keep on going, right? There's so much content. I mean, look at us,
I know.
amateurs, amateur hour.
Yeah.
We're putting up
But
content. So many people are doing it now.
that was when Corey Merle, Johnny Disc Golf, um, was part of Central Coast still. He was, I think, Corey Merle and Ian Anderson was such a good commentary team of like amateur disc golfers. They were just so
I
entertaining.
can't say I remember Johnny Disc Golf actually commentating. I don't think I remember that part.
Yep, he was part of
Behind the
Central
camera and
Coast.
seeing him a lot of tournaments and stuff like that.
No, it was
But
Ian,
wow,
and Corey did commentary. It was really entertaining to me. I really liked it. So that was like where I come from, and like I have a huge appreciation for what Ian Anderson did. I know a lot of people give him a hard time for calling out wrong discs and stuff like that, but like at the end of the day, like
let
because I know
let them
why
do it live.
he's asking players ahead of time for their bags,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then like what they throw on each hole, and then if players will change something, it's hard to figure out on the fly what they changed to.
Right.
because of a different wind. So he's calling out what they would normally throw in that hole, basically.
We're basically seeing the same view they're seeing. So I'd like to see anybody else try to get it
That's
right when they
yeah.
pick something out of their bag.
I don't know what ball golf does. Do they have the guys on the grounds, like, because ball golf courses are bigger, kind of.
So they do it the same way actually. So you have
Yes, they have guys in the booth.
you'll have your tandem in a booth, and
Yeah,
then you have somebody walking with
on the
the
ground.
camera,
They just
walking
have
with the
more
people and
cameras.
talking. A lot more cameras, a
Yeah,
lot more and a lot better coverage. So they're able to
yeah.
get it from different angles, and they have that eye in the sky a lot. And now they have more drones.
The drones
So
are
yeah,
cool. If they use the
like
drone shots correctly, they're really fun.
I
Like
want to try to get some drone shots this year. Like we started with UB, but
yeah,
AWACS.
the replays using a drone is much cooler than doing it live with the drone. Like the
Yeah,
normal shot from behind into catch cam switch is great live, and then you go with the replay of the drone on some crazy line someone throws. Like that's
which
really
is
cool.
that's why they started to shift away from so many wooded courses, heavily wooded courses,
Yeah,
because you just can't see, right? If you want to sell and grow, right, the purity, the origins are in the woods, in the parks. But if you want people to grow, right? So hockey had a very similar um, restraint holding them back. They People couldn't follow the puck,
right.
and I remember when I was younger, Fox Sports when
Yeah,
they did the glowing
the
puck
highlight.
so
Yeah,
that people could see where the puck is, right? So it's a similar concept. You want it to grow, people have to see where this thing is going. And even if
yeah,
the commentators, like we watch some of those heavily wooded tournaments, right? Like, oh no, a tree. Let's hope something, you know what I mean? It's like
right,
they can't
right.
see where it
You
went.
can't
If
tell.
they can't and we can't, the purists will be like, all right.
Yeah,
But for people who are new and want to watch for entertainment, they're like, oh, it's gone. It's in the woods. Forget it. Change the channel.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think the new Texas courses, like every Texas course they used this year, was great. Was the perfect mix. Like Waco on two courses was a great mix, and the Texas States and Open at Austin courses were really well designed. Ball golf turned into disc golf greens, like disc golf courses. I think they were really well designed.
Yeah, I do. I've always said I'm a fan of both. So if they can find a way to make it as
Yeah,
close as possible to half open, half wooded, whatever, that's great. I don't like throwing into heavily wooded trees. Obviously, we know that. Um, but as far as watching and being a fan of disc golf, I like seeing both. I like to
yeah,
see the wide open shots. I love the drone shot of whatever MPO person's on the tee pad and it goes 650 feet. Like just
yeah,
the kind of shot you get bored waiting for it to land. Like those are
yeah,
awesome to see them do that with a frisbee. You know what I mean? That's
yeah.
me personally.
Yep. So I mean, I was thrown in a field. So this week I did a little bit of field work. I'm still working on throwing farther, consistently and farther. I've got my accuracy down, great. I can hit lines like crazy in the woods now. It's easy. I still can't throw farther. So I was working on it and I was getting some shots. I told you Wednesday it was pretty windy. I was throwing some pretty big tailwind shots and I was like, that easily is clearing like 450. And I like get UDisc out, range them, and I was like, oh, it's like 400 feet. Like they were just getting to 400 feet with like 12 speeds and 10 speeds. And I was and I'm watching them carry forever in the wind, and like they're just barely getting 400. So I was like, well,
How did that feel?
yeah,
Was it
it feels just like,
crushing or was it?
yeah,
Eh,
it's just like it gives you so much more appreciation for how much farther 500 feet is than 400 feet, or
yeah.
600 feet is than 500 feet. It's
Whenever I
insane.
hear six, I'm thinking that's two of my shots. Anytime I hear six, that's two of my shots.
Yeah,
That's the first thing that comes to mind. So if somebody bombs that, I'm like, man, that's awesome. It really is. And like I said, even some of those wooded courses that have a 4.5, 500 foot wooded shot, when somebody makes it through,
yeah,
that's amazing. I really enjoy and appreciate that.
yeah. But I
So
think
go ahead.
I was just say I changed my run up a little bit. I'm putting a little more ass into my run up. Like I used to be very slow, methodical run up.
I was
Like
just gonna ask. That's my question. So did you slow it down to see what you're doing, or did you speed up to get some more
no, I went
force
faster.
behind
I
it?
get a little bit more rhythm in my run up. And I'm generating more spin and more easy power. I'm getting the 400 easier. I'm not having to rip
Yeah,
it
there
as
you go.
hard with my arm. I'm just generating
Okay.
pretty easy power because I'm generating more momentum, and I'm still bracing very well. I still have a really good brace off my front leg, so all the momentum is transferring up into my arm through the throw. Like like I showed you guys today, I eagled a 430-foot hole with a 20-foot comeback putt, and it's like
Yeah.
yes, it's like maybe 10 feet of elevation loss, and a little bit there was a tailwind, but so I was 450 on a 430-foot hole. So maybe with no tailwind, I get to 400, and I still have a
Yeah.
30-footer, and it's not like a wide open. It is a wide open shot. It's an island green. Like
Okay.
it's a 50-foot island green, like 50 foot
So it's like
around.
70 feet downhill from the tee pad. That's why he
Yeah,
beached it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I kicked it and it flew all the way there.
That's awesome to hear, though. No eagles in the history of ever that I can think of. Well, I guess the ace is an eagle, but
Yeah,
still,
it says more of an it's an ace,
a
not an eagle though.
throwing ace is, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I've gotten a few
I can't think
eagles
of
here and
anything.
there. Not on a real par four or par five. Like, I mean, you can call a double island hole a
That's
real
what I
par
mean.
four.
That's what I mean. Like a legit eagle. I'm not talking about like you walk up to one that has
Yeah,
375
wrong
par four or
pars.
something
Yeah,
like that, and you're like, that's not no that. As much as I complain when they make those 450 par threes, I understand why they
you
do it
get why.
for
Yeah.
guys your level and above.
Yep.
Um, so I don't count that as it should be a four, and I got it into no,
Yes, I
no,
agree.
I don't count that. Makes me kind of miss it. Like I guess the closest I got was Vegas. It
Yeah.
just makes me miss that environment, and I really want to make it back there one day. They moved into the Mother's Day thing, and that's just not a thing that I can do
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
hard.
So I hope they do something else or move it back.
Yeah.
So chess.com kicked
Yeah.
off the season,
Yep.
but they still had Throw Down the Mountain a couple weeks ago.
There's
So that's
4
still a
weeks of it.
thing schedule wise, right?
It's a month-long event now. Throwdown.
So being selfish, and I don't care. This is our show, your season, but our show. I want them to move it back.
To
I want
Vegas.
Vegas
Yeah.
to kick off the year, and I want chess.com to go back there, get rid of the Throw Down
Later.
the Mountain, right? You can have that for the amateurs, do
Right.
whatever you're doing,
Right.
and finish it with the chess.com or whoever sponsors. Let's
Yeah.
do it that way.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you, Paul.
Vegas is
We'll
cool.
make it happen.
Vegas is
And I
fun. It's
guess,
just it's out
they
of the
made a
way.
switch, right? But it wasn't. It was
Kind of
it
was. It's
was
pretty far to Texas from
all
Vegas.
star. It was all star out there.
In
Then it was Vegas.
Arizona.
Then it was Arizona.
No,
And
it
then
was
Texas. So a little,
well, if you did Memorial, then you went to Arizona.
which they killed basically, right? It's dying now because you're just throwing
Memorial.
around the water.
Well, the reason Memorial isn't bigger is because the Pro Tour needs to close the park for the event, and the
Yeah,
Parks Department in the city won't let them have the park.
right.
So they can't make
Limits.
it a yeah.
Right.
They can't make it a Pro Tour stop because they can't control the park well enough.
And when that type of course, like I said, being around the fountain, just going around the water,
Yeah.
kind of gets old, right? There's not much changes or stuff that you can do for that one. But
Right.
I guess I just don't have as good as a memory as you do for these things. But the tour, are they at Eagles crossing it all yet?
No, there's no tour stops at Eagles Crossing.
When do you think that'll happen?
I don't know. Well, because to be a Pro Tour event, you need to be an A tier first for so long. So someone needs to start hosting an event and build an event bigger
But
and
that's what I
bigger.
mean. Do you know how long?
I don't know how long. I don't know how long you need to be a running tournament to get a stop. But I
Okay.
know you need to
Well,
be
we'll find out.
kind of established as like a B tier to even get an A tier, because that has to fit the schedule to even get an A tier. So it's very very dependent on where the swing of the tour is that time of year when you want to host your event.
I'm trying to bring up the schedule now. What do we got here?
I mean, it would have to
Oh,
be
it's already
around
gotten rid of the other stuff. So
it would have to be around
we're
DDO
moving.
or GBO time.
We got Jonesboro April next week.
It's Arkansas.
Then Music City. Yeah. the Music City, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
So is that the one where sometimes they would split? It was either you played Music City or you headed down to Florida for that Throwdown the Mountain. Wasn't there a split there? I remember somebody commenting about Ricky avoiding Paul at Throwdown the Mountain, and he was
Yeah.
staying
Yeah. I think it
somewhere
was
up
around then.
in that area.
Yeah.
Right, and then you've got the dynamic discs open May 3 to 5.
Yeah. So if you want to play Eagles Crossing, you'd have to be sometime in there because Eagles Crossing is somewhere in the Midwest or this mid Southwest,
Yeah.
somewhere in the middle of the
So
country. I don't know what state anymore. I have discs with the stuff on it. I could probably look behind me and find it, but
holy cow! So then we hop over to Denmark. That's
yeah,
the
for
part
the
of the
Euro
tour.
Tour, yeah,
Is that how the Euro Tour kicks off?
I guess.
I'm just wondering why it's placed all of a sudden in the middle of that. But you got 2 weeks between the DDO and OTB Open in California.
Right, and that's pretty far. That's a good travel week to get across the country,
Yeah, and then up to Oregon,
up to Oregon or whatever.
Portland Open, and
Portland
then
Open, Beaver State,
Beaver State.
maybe if someone goes.
Then the Torku, and if someone goes,
Was
it's
Beaver
on the
State?
tour.
Oh, is it a silver series or is it an actual tour stop?
It looks like if it's on the DGPT,
Okay. I mean,
let me click on it, see what else we got here. Presented by Innova. Watch live. Doesn't say no. There is no more Silver Series, right?
I don't know.
There
I
isn't yeah, that's not a
I
thing
don't
anymore.
know.
And then you got the Turku Open. Preserve is in Minnesota,
Yeah. But
Iowa.
I'm
Wait,
glad
wait.
Beaver State Fling is back because Milo MacGyver is such a cool place.
Beaver State was gone for a little bit.
Yeah, it was not a
Was
tour
it 1
stop.
year or two?
Maybe 2 or 3. It was gone for a little bit because that was back. Beaver State Fling used to be covered by Central Coast only because they were that side of the country and no one else would travel for it. So it was really cool to watch Eagle, Joe Revere, Scott Withers, like those guys shred that Milo MacGyver course. So it was gone for a while because it wasn't a Pro Tour stop. Then it was a Silver Series, and now it's, I guess, on the tour again.
Yeah. So I looked at it, and you actually could fit it in later. You could fit Eagles Crossing in later.
Where is Eagles Crossing? Where? What state?
It's in Missouri, right?
Mm.
Now you got me second guessing everything.
It probably is. I just don't know what part of Missouri or like where.
We need what's his name for that?
Jeff?
Get Jeff on the horn.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's in Missouri. Isn't it right near your sponsored
Gateway's in St.
hometown?
Louis. Other than that, I don't know about Missouri.
Eagles Crossing Disc Golf.
I know there is a
Hawk
Kansas City.
Point, Missouri.
Hawk Point.
Hawk Point, Missouri, which is looking at it now on a map. Scrolling out. It's right near St. Louis.
Cool. Okay. So when I go, I'll have to hit
Right
that
near
up.
St. Louis.
Nice.
Yeah, you will. So you have an area in that time frame where you're dipping around in between Minnesota, Iowa, and Illinois.
You could get down there.
For Ledgestone. So Missouri is like a kick over. So
Yep.
then they jump all the way back across to Michigan. So
Yeah.
it's a possibility. I've seen the course. I love the course. The pros know, purposely, specifically built for them.
Yeah.
They like it. The ones that have been there. I'd like to see something happening there, not just like what is it? They do the skins match or whatever there.
Yeah, the big money skins, which was a disaster
Yeah.
last time.
I'd like to see that. 24. Why is that? That doesn't matter. All right. So, yeah, that's my opinion. I would like to see them add that.
I would like to see a lot of the pros play it. Yeah, I agree.
I guess they kind of toned down the tour a little bit. They cleared the Silver Series, but some of the pros, I hate labeling. They're pros. They're absolute pros, and I hate labeling them. But you want to be able to describe a larger swath, a larger group of them, and I call them mid pros. Right? Any time they can pop off and win, but
yeah, like 50 and below, or maybe even 30 and below.
I was gonna say 30. 30 to 50 range,
Yeah.
where they're cashing and they're living, but
Yep.
they're not at the top a lot. So calling them mid does not in any way disparage their ability and
They're
their skills,
yeah, like it's like the 1025 rated guys. Like that's really hard to
which is
do. To
insane.
average 1025 golf is really hard.
Insane,
But just like you need to average 1060 to win. So it's
right?
insanity.
It is. So they have to make their living too. And
Yep.
Silver Series were some things they were able to do while the other guys hustled on. And
Yeah.
I guess looking at calendars around and travel, you have to see if there's something there. But without the Silver Series, maybe there'll be an opening for another tour, somebody else to
I hope. Well, they
come
are.
along.
They're doing like the small tour, or you can. There's so many events you can play in to get points to go to the finals to win a tour card for next year.
Okay,
If you want more
that's good.
info on that, go listen to Bedanza Disc Golf. He's got a lot of videos because he's trying to do it. So
Okay,
he's documenting his journey from starting disc golf to trying to be a touring pro.
wow,
Very very
that's awesome.
interesting. He's a good player.
Yeah,
Very interesting.
yeah,
I definitely recommend his channel. He posts a lot, a little less now than before, but he was posting constantly before,
yeah.
which was cool.
Good.
But he's really interesting YouTube content. If you're already here watching this, you probably want more YouTube content. So, yeah, Anthony Bedanza, really good dude, really interesting.
Speaking of YouTube content, we can't move any further without asking why Sully.
Why Sully? It's just gonna be a question that no one really ever has the answer to, but just why Sully?
No one's gonna have the answer, but they're always gonna ask
Everyone's
why
gonna
Sully.
ask.
All right,
Some
sorry.
might say because he designs those cool stamps that I have floating on my wall somewhere, like that one or that one.
Dude, I forgot about that. What is that? Panic at the Disco. What is that one that I did for you back there? Who is that?
My Chemical Romance.
My Chemical Romance. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Welcome to the Black Parade one. Yeah, it's a really cool one.
I completely forgot about that one, and that's been in this for a couple of times now, and I just never focused in on
It's
it.
been there the whole time because I don't really move those discs around.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so there's some
completely
cool
forgot
ones.
about that one. Yeah, that's cool. All
Yeah,
right.
you got my cat.
Sorry, we got off topic. Sully will do that to you
Sully will do that
and
to
your
you.
cat.
Yeah.
All right. What was your other topic? You had,
So with my playing like crazy good lately, like feeling good about my game lately, has been like putting outstanding. I feel like I get mad if I miss a putt inside of 60 because constantly I'm hitting cage. I'm hitting cage or band from 60 and in every time.
okay.
And they just don't drop. And we've played, me and my friend who was my doubles partner for my tournament, we had like a mediocre round. And then we got paired up in random dubs the next Thursday. We got paired up in random dubs the next Tuesday. And we just kept having these mediocre rounds. And what he refers to them like, you know when the guy comes back from league and just complains about how his round went the whole time?
Yeah.
You're just like, dear diary, dude. Just go write it down in your diary. I don't care. So there's a couple of guys that he calls dear diary around here. But like
He
after,
calls the guys your diary.
yeah, he's funny.
Wow. Wow.
That's all they do.
Do
Is
they
just come.
know?
Yeah, he said it to their face. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because all they do is complain about the round or something, like something. So like, it's just like I miss. All I can think about after a round is like the 4 putts from 60 feet I hit into the cage, like dead center with speed into the cage, and it's just like, yeah, well, dear diary, I'll try again next week. Like it's just a way to kind of compartmentalize a bad round and then move on.
Yeah.
It's another
Hey,
way of thinking about it.
yeah. Anything that helps the mental approach, God, it'll help. Like anything will try. Um, Dear Diary, way out of left field. Would have never put those two together, but
Well, yeah. So
I can
I just
say
wrote
I've
down.
had those.
Yeah,
I partnered with Mikey B at Como and didn't
yeah,
cash.
yeah.
So yeah,
You
I've
probably
had
still
those
remember
rounds.
like what putts you missed or what drives you through bad.
Yes,
Yeah.
and which ones that I hit the chains and would have been amazing
Yep.
eagles, and he missed, and it's like, I do remember those because that was the first time I was ever paired up with him. So I
Yeah.
remember that tremendous. And like I remember him solo twoing hole 8. Just
Yeah.
it, and I did hit metal on the putt,
Yeah,
but didn't make it. Was upset, and he
he could have
cashed
made
it.
it.
So,
Yeah.
streaming out Dear Diary. I don't know how that would affect play, but it's worth a try.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's just like, yeah, well, dear diary, I missed another putt, and then you move on. But that's my friend Ryan Hunt. He's got a lot of good. He's from Ohio, so he's kind of got that same, Lake Erie
Similar
Midwestern.
mentality. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very different. So that's another thing. I'll start with the Ryan Hunt. His other saying he says a lot is "watch it like a man" when he throws a bad shot. He's just like he makes
Oh,
himself watch every
yeah.
bad shot. He's like, I won't turn away. I'll watch it. And
Watch it
like
like a man.
it makes you own up to your bad shots a little bit more as well. It makes you hold yourself more accountable. So then you realize what you did wrong, and you don't lose discs. You
That's
just
important.
yeah
That's key because I absolutely turn away. You've played with me many times. When it's out of the hands, shit, I just
yeah you just
don't
turn
want. I'm
away.
disgusted.
Yeah
Right. But when I play with my children, if I'm playing with Christian or if I'm playing with Nene and there's a bad shot, I immediately tell them, "You watch that disc
yeah
because they're gonna lose it."
they're gonna
Right.
lose it.
I can replace my discs
Yeah
easier than they can replace
yeah
theirs, and they're going to turn around and look to me to say, "What do you got?" You know what I mean? I
yep
I don't know why. It may be a parental thing. I don't say it to too many other people. But yeah, when it's still out of their hands and they want to look away, watch your disc because you're going to look
you're
for
going
it.
to find it.
Maybe it's
Yep
just because I don't want to help them look.
right.
We've all been there. Like you've seen me throw, you're like,
Oh,
I'm not. Before I even throw, you let me know. If you throw that, I'm
I'm
not
not
helping you
looking.
look.
I said that to Chris. I said that to Chris Farrell in a tournament. He pulled out a black MVP disc, like a black core disc, and it was like
All
a tall.
black.
It was a tall grass hole, and I was like, Chris, I'm not helping you find that when you throw it in that tall grass, and he did. He walked right in and found it. To be fair, but I was like, Chris, I'm not helping you find that.
I very specifically remember Pond Hole 4, me going over the trees and you saying, I'm not going to help you find that. And I made it through, and you were just like, shouldn't happen. Shouldn't
Yeah, it
happen.
shouldn't have. I was like, I'm not helping.
It got through. It
Yeah,
worked. I don't know how. I mean, I saw the gap and I actually hit it.
yeah,
I don't know how, it actually all came together. But when it did, it was like a little more pep in the step when you walk up. You don't have to help me look for it. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
But yeah, I specifically remember that one working out. And then a couple others where you absolutely held your word. You were like, sucks and suck, and just walk away. You got to look for your disc. That's on you. That's why I have a collection on the bottom shelf of the real nice stamps with the black discs or whatever.
Yeah,
Because early on when I saw them, I was like, oh, these are awesome. And
they're
Buckley
cool.
was
Yeah,
like, no one's going to help you look for them, so you can't throw them.
this team stamped one. My first allotment from Gateway, it was black. I was like, never
Yeah.
throwing it. I'm never gonna throw that. So it might as well go on the wall.
I will, and I have.
Yeah, you have you have those black zones, like you
Yeah.
dyed zones, you had black crystal
Yeah.
flux zones. They're really cool.
I will. I will throw them. I'm not ashamed or afraid. Like, a sidebar thing that we've talked about and people will talk about till the end of disc golf is 50-50. If you're throwing a shot that has a likelihood of being lost forever, do you throw a disc you want to lose, or do you throw one of your best discs that you're afraid to lose so you commit to the shot, right? 50-50, what's going to happen?
Yeah,
It's not just because I'm not going to have help looking for it. Like,
yeah,
I got my black disc. Can't tell you how many times I've been on hole 17 at Bond, knowing a forehand is what's needed to
yeah,
approach
yeah,
and not doing it because I don't want to lose that disc. It's a black disc because it looks awesome. I'm not doing it because it's going to get lost. I'm just not throwing it because I really like that disc. And if it goes in the water, I may never see it again.
I
But I'm not
so
afraid to throw.
yeah, I got around that because I played at Como. I've counted. There's 14 holes at Como you can throw into the water, then never find it again. It's like it's a significant portion of the course that's next to a
That's
body
the
of
entire
water.
course.
I know.
Yeah.
It's everything but like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Every other hole you can end up in the water somehow,
Even, no,
except for 12.
seven? Seven
2, 3, 4, 5,
has,
6, 7.
it would take some work, but seven could get
You could get to the water.
lost on the book. Because, yeah, it can happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is that?
But
2,
yeah,
3,
good.
4, 5, 6, 7, and 12. So that's 7 holes out of 18. So there's 11 holes you can end up in the water, and like end up in an 8-foot deep river. Like I learned to throw replaceable discs on water holes, not it's not like they were not my favorite discs. I always had a Champ Firebird because every Champ Firebird is basically the same. Every 12 time new Champ Firebird is the same. I always had like a Rock 3 because every Rock 3 was basically the same. Every Champ Rock 3 was the same. Every stock destroyers were a little different. It was the Macbeth destroyers.
Very different.
Back when I was playing the most, the Macbeth destroyers were all overstable. You could just rip one and know it's stable. So like I would always have those 3 kind of discs in my bag, and know if I lose one, I can just go grab another one off the shelf and put it right in my bag. So
I absolutely go and I grab 3 discs. I absolutely go. If I know there's a lot of water, even the Como,
yeah,
I go to my used bin. I look through it. I'm like 1, 2, 3. I throw them in the bag, and depending how I'm throwing before I get to hole one disc, and it was just one of those shit throws.
Yep.
Like you absolute grip lock and let go, basically facing the other way. You're like, you deserve to stay there. I don't want to see you again ever.
Yep.
Hole one. I've only lost discs on 10, hitting a tree early, right in the middle. 14.
Yep.
15.
Yeah.
A little early.
Yep.
Those are the only ones I've actually like lost and never bothered looking for. You know what I mean?
I've lost putters at that course. I've lost putters to come.
I've been there. I've been there when you threw them on 16.
So, 16. I just missed
approach
high,
whatever, just right over the edge.
Over the edge. Yeah, just happens.
Yeah. That's a hole where I'm gonna to it.
Oh, see,
I don't have the distance.
Yeah,
I've gotten to the tree. I've gotten to the tree that's across from.
Yeah.
It, right. That's still me to run that putt. 5% success rate from there. So I'm approaching and just trying to make my putt. But if I have circle one distance where I'm landing in a circle and I have regular chances, then yeah, I'm gonna probably lose some discs going for that for sure. For sure. Just like 18, the short.
Well,
there's a little bit of water there, so far that way.
Old 18 at Como was basically in line with the long basket. 3 feet.
Water?
3 feet from the edge of the water.
So still on this side of the water.
On this side of the water.
But just close to the edge.
3 feet away.
Damn.
It was
Dougie. Dougie designed that?
Yeah. Some erosion, sure. Some of it eroded away. It was probably a little easier before. But when I played, it was a very bad hole. Because I would see Bob once a week be like, just going in the water. That was when Bucket lived over there too, by that in Cheektowaga area. So I'd just be like, see Bob coming back from the water soaking wet or going in the water.
And it did not matter what time of year.
No,
it was the right disc. He was going in. Yeah, for sure. I like Como. I love playing Como. I still, as much as I've played it, will have a minimum of 2 throwaway discs. Minimum. And I think that's pretty much the only one where you have such a high risk of losing discs. Because again, Bond has, woods more often than not. I've lost one on 17 woods. But no water issues there, so I don't have to take an extra disc.
Right.
I lie. Hole 9 kicks my ass all the time.
Yep, I've lost some there.
There are a handful of times where I would take a flippy fairway and think this is the time I'm going to rip it and go for the pin. And if it kicks, I'm the type that sees that hill and I'm like, I'm not doing it. If it goes down there, it stays. But I still I want the satisfaction of trying a full rip to get to the basket and see if I can get there. Distance-wise, but it is such a pain in the ass hole for me. Oh, God, that's painful. So,
it's a very hard hole.
I do carry one every once in a while. If I got a feeling like I've been throwing good, let me try hole 9. I'm going to bring a disc to lose. And I did lose a crave trying that. It was a very nice crave. It was a beautiful crave. It was a backup crave, but I was feeling myself by the time we were there that I could hit this gap. And I was like, I'm waiting for it. I was counting 2 holes before that, knowing I'm going to make that gap. And sure enough, I clear that first little tight gap and then hit one of the mini hidden trees. See ya. It was painful. Painful.
Well, they're running Eclipse Craves again, so you better get some.
Uh, you know what? That's a servo,
Yeah, servos are good too.
right? I've got a handful. Once they put a servo in my hand, it's like an Eclipse Crave. It's got the stability of it, the
It does.
finish,
Yeah, it
right?
has the finish.
So
Yeah, that's fair.
I like the idea of the low one, but I'll stick with the servo when I need
Yeah.
it. I'm getting older, so I am accepting that I can throw the slower discs and it won't matter as long as I can
Yeah.
pull out a win or perform the way I need to. I don't need that. I don't have high speed. I mean, I have a couple 12s, but those are like, the Hades and something else are not really that bad for me, but whatever.
I'm still holding out hope that someday I hit 500. Like a
Yeah.
consistent
Hey,
450,
you're young.
500.
You got some time. Yeah,
Yeah,
you might.
we'll see.
How much time are we looking at?
We're
We
at
have time for
40.
that last topic?
What last topic?
HOD.
Oh, no, let's say that for next week. We can really dive into that, get some research into it, and I got some thoughts on
Okay.
that.
HOD is House of Discs,
House
people.
of Discs,
Next
yes.
week,
Teaser for
we're
next
going to
week.
talk about them.
Big
Yeah.
Discmania
There's
change
some
coming.
changes, big Discmania, and yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know, corporate, but we'll get into it.
It's interesting. It matters
Uh,
for disc golf.
it does. It could be the beginning of something much bigger.
Yeah.
An alignment of sorts, if you will. But, we'll see what happens down the line. But the changes are starting, right? So,
Yes. But
uh,
the week coming up, tomorrow, today's Friday we're recording. Saturday, another round Greenville opens officially. So when this comes out, another round Greenville will be open, which is super exciting. They're doing an ace race at one of our courses. Joseph Phillips is going to be out there, Mr. Ace Man himself. The guy from another round of
nice.
courses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Joseph's
he
going to be
doesn't
out
play
there.
tournaments,
No, he just does the
but
social
he
media
does the
and
ace
runs a
runs.
shop. Yeah. So he'll be
And
out
I
there.
think he uses his bag, every 6 months, just so he knows.
Yeah, he tries new
Like,
discs.
constantly changing his bag, yeah. Will Kieran be there?
I don't know what Kieran's gonna do
Will that made it? Yeah.
because
Talk to Kieran, find out.
he's playing a tournament on Sunday. That we practiced for today with them. I'm not playing it, even though because I thought the tournament was Saturday, but we're going to North Cove Saturday. So I will give
What
you.
happened to? Is this Bob's tournament?
No, that's the next week.
Okay.
I'm going to that, so I can't wait. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for North Cove. I will give my feedback on North Cove next week.
Okay.
So stay tuned for that.
Okay.
Another round Greenville. Probably try to get there before they close for the day. It's Saturday, so we'll always have
Nice.
updates on them.
Yeah.
And that's about it for the week coming up. There's no pro tour, so college nationals was this week, so we can get a little info on that for next week when it finishes.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have something for that.
That's at USDGC. That's at Winthrop Coliseum in Rock Hill. So we'll get some info on that. It's by me.
Good. Yeah. All right. Well, we don't have. I know some tournaments kicked off here. I want to say something happened at the Dizzle, maybe singles at the Dizzle, or maybe that's
Could
coming
be.
up. But I
Yeah.
don't think. I don't think much has happened yet. It's not. It's still cold. I mean, we still had a few inches of snow, so
Yeah. Sucks.
just not into it yet. It's slower start than usual. Normally, I'd at least be putting or doing something to get my season going.
Move to Charlotte.
That was so loud. I don't know. We'll see. Got a lot happening. So, all right, go ahead. Take us home.
All right. Well,
subscribe, ding,
if
all
you
the
made
good
it
stuff.
this far, you probably are already liked and subscribed. But make sure you hit the like. You're probably subscribed already. Turn the notifications on so you don't have to wait for me to post a random clip for this. And we will see you next week, and maybe we'll find out why Sully.
Why Sully? And the Charlotte. All right. See you guys next week. Thank you very much.